you might have a hard time trusting your decisions. And because of that, going back and forth and being filled with a lot of anxiety about decisions. So that's what we are going to talk about. I am Pauline and I am so happy you are here because being able to trust your decisions will really help you move forward in life and actually experience life. And holding back on that and not trusting your decisions can hold you back in so many different ways. Not growing, not enjoying, not experiencing all that life has to offer, and just a lot of fear and anxiety around decisions, even though you have to make decisions every single day. So, yeah, let's talk about it. It's so logical that it is hard for you because, as a fearful avoidant, it is very likely that you have not developed your own compass. You have not developed that sense in yourself to know when something is right for you, when it fits you, when it's right for your life and what you want and your values. Because some of the trauma you have endured or been brought up with is that your wants and needs weren't really taken into account. You had to do things and you had to do them now, and you had to do them in the way that your parent wanted to, because otherwise they would get angry or you would get punished. And that makes it really hard to trust yourself because you kind of give your power away to another person, to another um, authoritative figure that decides a lot of things for you. And then also, when you have a very critical or judgmental parent, and you may have had that too when you're struggling with the fearful avoidant attachment style, you become really self-conscious and don't even really trust anything that comes naturally. You start to second guess everything that you do and how you come across, and whether this is the right thing to do, or whether people will get angry or annoyed when you just are being yourself. So it's stuff like this that, in the smallest to the biggest things, can take away, erode that trust that you have in yourself, in your own decisions, in who you are, and that what comes naturally and that what you want actually matters. Another thing that I now think of is that when it might be that when you were a child and you wanted something, your parent would say no, which is completely fine and valid, um, setting up a boundary, but then you were not allowed to have a reaction to that. And it may have been that you've been ridiculed for wanting things, like you're spoiled or you're a princess or whatever it may be, drama queen. So having wanting things is completely normal. And um, when you grow up with a parent kind of ridiculing you for what you want and your reaction to a no, it just makes you not want anything anymore, or it makes you doubt anything that you want. Is this right? Is this okay? Is this making me look like I'm spoiled, or is this too much to ask for? So that also can influence the trust that you have in your own decisions. There's probably a million different ways in which a fearful avoidant upbringing can erode the trust in your own decisions. So when you're in your 20s and 30s, that's when a lot of big decisions are made. Your partner, the work that you do, the home that you live in, the hobbies that you have. And of course, things can change. You can always move to a different home. You can change your work. You can change your hobbies. But it can be hard if you feel like everything has to happen now and it has to be perfect, which is a tendency you probably also have. That makes it so hard to make any decisions. So how can you start trusting? First of all, healing the fearful avoidant attachment style obviously helps in this, because it just releases and heals so much of that trauma and those negative associations around trusting yourself and trusting your own compass. But what I've learned is that in helping so many people with this, uh, if you put so much pressure on one decision, you have to make the right decision, it has to be absolutely perfect, it will paralyze you. You won't make that decision. So you are going to be stuck in doubt and going back and forth and being in the gray zone. And the thing is, when you're in the gray zone, nothing happens. You don't grow. You don't learn from possible mistakes, because yes, that's a possibility, and that's also okay because everybody makes mistakes. So putting that much pressure on it is actually a way of your fear brain protecting you, and not really going forward in life. And so what I tried was to think my way to perfection and then make the perfect decision. And that's just not how life works. You can't think your way to trusting yourself more. You have to take action. You have to make decisions and then learn from them. But what helps is if you release this need for it to be perfect, it needing to be the perfect decision that doesn't hurt anybody, and that doesn't cause any damage whatsoever, and that will make you happy for the rest of your life. No decision will do that. So what really helped me, and a lot of other people that use this now too, is that seeing life as more of like a computer game. It's not that when you make a decision, it is very black and white. Either your life is going to be amazing or you are going to be unhappy for the rest of your life. And that's what it feels like, right? When you have a hard time trusting your decisions. But a computer game is set up that whether you go left or right, you encounter different things, you learn different things, but you end up in the same place. So it is okay to make a decision and then think, oh no, this isn't the experience that I want, and then learn from it and make a different decision. It is not that one decision is going to make or break everything. The most successful people have failed a million times. And relationships are messy. They are never linear and never perfect. So it's not that one decision will make everything go wrong. And when I started seeing life more as a computer game, where it didn't really matter if I chose left or right, because there was always an option to go back to the main storyline. Maybe this was a side quest, maybe this was the main storyline, and it's all okay. We are here to learn and to experience things, so not to think our way to perfection and then make the perfect decision. So it's a combination of maybe doing some preparation. I mean, when you're getting married, it does help to know what a happy marriage looks like, what a secure attachment looks like, what is needed to base that decision on. But you will never make a perfect decision, because there is no perfect partner, there is no perfect relationship. And so it really helps to make a decision smaller. Like, okay, I am just going to give this relationship my all right now. And then you learn, and then you experience things, and from there you can go on. But where you trap yourself is when you think it has to be perfect now, because if I choose them, I have to be together with them forever, and I can never get divorced, so it has to be perfect now. You take away the process that it is supposed to be. You learning, you experiencing, you sifting and sorting whether this is right for you. And so when it comes to deciding the partner for the rest of your life, make sure that you know what a healthy, happy relationship looks like. Make sure that you know what a secure attachment looks like, and that potential is there to build a beautiful relationship. What are your values? Write them down. Are they the same as your partner's values? Talk about the important stuff like finances, and how are you gonna, do you want kids, and how are you gonna raise kids? I mean, also look at it from a practical side, but then also just make the decision and release the need for it to be forever. And I know this is hard, and it's kind of a dual thing, especially when it comes to a partner, because when I was in the crash state of my fearful avoidant attachment style, and I was in the middle of obsessive thoughts and doubts, I demanded of myself that I make the perfect decision so that I would never divorce, and I would always be happy in my relationship. And I had to decide that now. And the ironic thing is, I didn't want to ever consider the possibility of having a divorce, because I knew that that hurts, and that hurts your children, possible future children. So I just wanted it to be perfect, so that would never happen. The ironic thing is that when I accepted that even if we would end up getting divorced, I would be okay, he would be okay, our possible future children would be okay. We would do whatever it takes to have, everybody be healed from that, and move on. It sounds crazy, but because I was okay with that scenario, I could choose freely to have the intention to be with Aryan forever and put all of my energy into that. Because it is a difference between control. Something has to happen one way and it can't go any other way, so we have to stay together and be happy forever, and we can't even possibly consider divorce. That is just, we cannot, that is absolutely not done. That is control. To, it is my intention to stay with him forever. I am going to put all my energy and all my effort and everything I have into building the most beautiful relationship and marriage that we can. But I would be okay whether we would get divorced, whether I would lose him, whether, I know I would be okay. It would hurt like hell and I don't want it, but it's not that I wouldn't survive and I wouldn't be okay. That frees you up to choose to invest and to build and to make it a process and to learn. And that works. So it's so ironic, because you have to be okay with the thing that you absolutely do not want to be able to choose what you do want and give that your all. Does that make sense? I'm really curious if that makes sense. And it's like that with everything. If you are trying to decide your career right now for the rest of your life, that's not going to happen, because you're going to learn, you're going to evolve, you're going to grow and learn so much about what is right for you. And so it's a process, and allow it to be a process. And the more you give your everything to what you are doing right now, the more you figure out what works for you, and allows you to do the work that you absolutely love sooner. So life really is like a computer game, and it doesn't really matter if you go left or right. You learn things left or right. There's no perfect choice. There's no choice that will make everything perfect for the rest of your life. It's not black and white. And when you make a wrong choice, whatever that may mean, it doesn't mean that everything goes wrong, everything falls apart. Being okay with all of that will free you up so much to create a life that is right for you, that is not black and white. It's not that in your relationship it has to be perfect or you're going to break up. There is so much possible in learning together and growing together and healing together, and so many possibilities to break through to a whole different level of love in the relationship that you are in now. But if you are demanding of yourself that you are making the perfect choice, and you are unhappy for a millisecond, you get panicked, because you're not allowed to divorce. You're not allowed to make a wrong choice. And so all the energy goes to that, goes to it having to be perfect and control. But the energy is much more valuable when it's put into building and investing and growing and seeing openings and possibilities to deepen your love, or deepen or improve your skills in work. And uh, it's it's impossible to have control and to make the perfect choice. So see life as a computer game. Whether you go left or right, whether you do a side quest or not, that's okay. It really truly is okay. And the more you are okay with whatever could happen, the more powerful your intentions are going to be, and the higher the chances are that they are going to come true, because you are going to put all your effort and energy into that. I hope this was valuable. Please let me know in the comments below. As always, I am so happy you are here, and I will see you in the next one.
Healed and Happy is a tailor made online program where me and my team personally guide you through healing the roots of the fearful avoidant attachment style.